Hello, welcome to sportsbookreview.com. I'm Natalie Rydstrom, reporting for Sportsbook Review. We've got Martin Green, Simon from Need for Tips here. On the line, we're taking a look at week 39 rundown for the championship. We've got 12 matches, but instead of doing our standard rundown, what we've done is we've got a sheet and we've actually ticked off the matches where we do have really good picks that we're going to deliver for you guys. So we're going to start with Derby versus QPR. That's Friday's match, and both Martin and Simon have a tip for this. I was going to go for it. I was leaning more towards that home win, but QPR have been a bit surprising of late. So interested to hear your thoughts. I'm going to start with you, Martin.
I'm going against that, actually. I think QPR can get a result in this game. They've seen a marked upturn in form under Ian Holloway of late. Won 3 of their last 4 games against some pretty top opposition. I was very impressed with the way they beat Cardiff and got a draw against Leeds. Derby have been struggling. They haven't won in 3 games. I think QPR can get something here. They've got a result in 2/3 of their away games this season. So QPR draw double chance at 1.85 is my pick for this one.
Yeah, very good. That was what I was worried about, whether we were going to see that upset. Simon, are you with Martin on this match?
Kind of. I'm going to avoid the win. I'm going to avoid the winners market. I like both teams to score. Derby, 5 out of their last 6 at home. Both teams have scored. 4 at home, and they're terrible defensively at home. Obviously, the form that Rangers are in, they've won 5 out of 7. I can see them scoring. So I like both teams to score at even money.
Okay, both teams to score. Do you agree, though, that QPR can get something out of this match?
I do, but again, Gary Rowett is just taken over at Derby. So they've got a new manager. I think realistically they're building for next season. But with that new manager kind of syndrome, I'd lean towards a draw, I think. Do you know what I mean? With Derby having a home advantage. I don't think Rangers are that great away. I think they've only won 1 in 5 away. But steer clear of the winners market and go for both teams to score there.
All right, both teams to score, but Martin's their QPR draw double chance is looking good as well. Barnsley versus Sheffield. This is a match that we are all 3 passing, interestingly enough. Pretty much even home and away. Sometimes they say if you can't split it, go for the draw. Sort of leaning on both teams to score bet for me, but again, this is a no play. Just quickly, Simon, why did you pass this match?
Well, Barnsley are really in no sort of form at the moment. I think only Rotherham are in worse form. And Sheffield Wednesday as well. I think they've lost 4 out of their last 6. It's just a really difficult one because Barnsley, they tend to grind results out. They don't really tend to lose. Just staying away from it. It's just not something I'm really interested in at the moment.
Yeah, all right. Good to pass if you don't feel confident. And next, we've got Aston Villa versus Norwich. Interesting, all 3 of us have a tip here. Aston Villa 2.4, Norwich 3.2, and the draw 3.3. Aston Villa certainly looking strong on their curve. Picked up 9 wins this season, 27 scored, 16 conceded. I think against Norwich's away form, just 4 goals. That Aston Villa win is looking nice, 2.4. Martin, what's your tip for this match?
Yeah, I'm on the Aston Villa win here. These are 2 teams going in very different directions. Aston Villa have won 5 of their last 6 games and they're really climbing up the table. I know Norwich did get a win in their last game, but that was against the struggling Barnsley side, and I've been quite underwhelmed with their performances of late. I think Aston Villa are really, really improving, and they're particularly strong at Villa Park. So the 2.4 on an Aston Villa win looks a very good price to me. I'm going out Aston Villa win.
Aston Villa win. Simon, are you going to make this a full house?
That price is huge. I actually got 2.5 earlier this week. I just couldn't believe the price. I don't know why the bookies have set that so high. Maybe it's something to do with Norwich. Obviously, they've got the caretaker manager at the moment, but they are building for next season. They've got a horrendous run in. I can't see them making the playoffs. Obviously, Villa won 5 in 6. 5 clean sheets as well. Playing it with caution, I'm going to go 0 on the Asian handicap Villa, which is draw no bet. You can still get that at 1.8, so I'm going to play that as my official bet.
Yeah, well, there's enough value there if you want to sort of tread with caution. Another bet that I was looking at there, obviously Aston Villa 27 goals on their turf, but Norwich 38 conceded on the road. Obviously, Aston Villa just 16, so it's interesting you mentioned that those clean sheets there. Villa and the over 1.5 goals, maybe looking at sort of possible of a 2-0 Villa win there, 2.88. Not an official bet, it's definitely the Villa win for me, but that could be another bet worth looking at. Brentford versus Bristol. Let's take a look here. Brentford versus Bristol. Simon, you've got a tip for this match, as do I, but take it away.
Yeah, anyone that watches this show regularly knows that I love Brentford. And I love both teams to score. Brentford, I think I've backed it every week, and it's only once that it's not come in. I'm going to avoid the winners market because Brentford are quite strong at home. City have won their last 2. Brentford have gone over 2.5 in 12 out of 14 games. Obviously, their last game finished 5-3. Bristol City have scored 25 goals away from home, which is really, really good, actually. It's decent. So I'm going both teams to score and over 2.5 at 1.9. I think that looks really good.
Yeah, I'm absolutely with you, Simon. I do like that Brentford win, though, I have to say, at home. I think they can do it, but both teams to score, definitely a strong bet from me, and the over 2.5 goals. Brighton versus Blackburn. Brighton 1.57, draw 4. Blackburn 6.25. Brighton, Blackburn. Again, it's just you and me, Simon. I've got a tip for this match. What do you like?
Yeah, I'm going to stick my neck out on this one. I know Brighton are really strong at home. They've won 8 out of 10, which is the strongest record at home in the league. Obviously since Mowbray took over, they've not lost in 7, but they're just drawing too many matches. But they do tend to score. They've scored in 6 out of 6 away. So I'm going both teams to score and over 2.5 here. I think they'll notch, but I don't know if they'll win, but they'll get on the score sheet. And at 2.5, I think that's a really good bet.
Yeah, not a huge amount of value there, but you're not taking the Brighton win 0.57 even as part of an ACCA bet. 13 wins. They're 4 points behind Newcastle. This is a must win for them. And then obviously Blackburn 2 road wins. Certainly drawing a lot, 4 consecutive draws. But I think at Brighton should clinch this. 1.57, is that good enough for an accumulator?
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, that's the reason why I avoided it as an official bet, because it is quite low. But certainly for an ACCA, I would put that in an ACCA, yes.
Yeah. Well, I was looking Brighton -1 for a bit more value, but it's actually the same price as Brighton and the over 1.5 goals. So that's why I'm going to play Brighton over 1.5 goals, priced at 2. Huddersfield versus Burton. Huddersfield 1.6, draw 3.9. Burton 6.5. All 3 of us have a bet. Martin. We'll start with you.
Oh, thank you very much. I shied away from the Brighton game because I just didn't think it looked good enough value against the team that hasn't lost in its last 7 games. But Huddersfield against Burton might actually be considered a similar story, although Burton did lose 5-3 to Brentford in their last game. I think now is the time that Huddersfield really start to need to pick up points. They're 6 points behind Brighton, and there's not that much time for them to make up the gap. So I think they'd have had a little bit of time to think about it, and I can see them really going for this. I think they can get a win here, and just a straight Huddersfield win to get them back on track is 1.63. So I like that one.
Yeah, me too. Not bad price at all. Simon, you going for that Huddersfield win?
Yeah, I'm going to make it a full house on that one. I mean, Burton, they're not bad, but they've only won 2 in 19 away. We forgot to mention Huddersfield losing 4-0 at Bristol City. No one saw that coming, but I think they'll bounce back this week, and I think at 1.63, that's a decent price for the home win.
Yeah, another bet that I am looking, it seems to be my theme of the weekend for sure. Huddersfield and the over 1.5 goals again, priced at 2. You've got the Huddersfield sort of home scoring record there against a team who are conceding 31 goals there. Burton have conceded on the road, but Huddersfield and the over 1.5 goals priced again at 2. But Huddersfield win is my official tip. For sure, I like a lot. Also going to stick that in the accumulator bet. Ipswich versus Birmingham. Ipswich 2.3, Birmingham 3.1, draw 3.4. This is a pass for me. Just taking a look now if anybody's playing that bet. Simon, you're playing this one. What are you going for?
Yeah, kind of reluctantly, but when I looked at the stats, I kind of thought, yeah, I'm going to have a go at this. Ipswich have gone unders in their last 3 at home. Birmingham have gone unders in their last 3 away. Birmingham have only scored 5 in 6 away, and Ipswich 6 in 7 at home. So I'm going to go for under 2.5 at 1.69. I think that's decent value for that bet.
Yeah, I'm actually with you on that one, to be honest, and certainly with the bookies. Martin, why did you avoid this match?
I didn't really. I found it difficult to decide which way the outrights would go, to be honest. Ipswich became the draw kings of the league. I think they drew about 7 games in a row, which was just ridiculous form. Then they went and lost 3-1 to Cardiff. Birmingham, bit of an unpredictable side, drawn their last couple of games. Just didn't really think there was much value in the outrights. I do actually quite like the look of that bet, the unders. Just a bit unpredictable, isn't it, really? I mean, which lost 3-1 in their last game, so they can concede goals. Just, yeah, not one of my top picks for the weekend, I'm afraid. I think there's more value elsewhere for me. Yeah,
no, I agree with you as well. But you're going Newcastle versus Wigan, which is interesting. You are the only one on this game. Newcastle 1.4, draw 4.6, Wigan 10. I do have to say, though, Newcastle for an ACCA bet looks tempting, 1.4. But last home match, Newcastle lost to Fulham 3-1. Bit unpredictable, but you've got to go. It's a must-win for Newcastle, but I suppose for Wigan as well to get clear of that red zone. What are you going for here, Martin?
I think Newcastle can win this one relatively emphatically. There's been a bit of a gap between the games, which would have given everyone a bit of a pause to reassess and really think about what they want to achieve in the last few games of the season. Wigan look as good as relegated, really. Newcastle have Brighton breathing down their necks. Huddersfield could muscle their way into the fight for the title. So I think they need to come out and make a bit of a statement here. You've got a massive, massive golfing class between the two teams. Newcastle, top of the league. Wigan, second bottom. They're playing at home. I just think Newcastle should be winning this one quite comfortably. So I'm going to go Newcastle minus 1.5 Asian handicap, 2.19.
There we go. Going big or go home. Why did you skip this match, Simon?
Obviously, Newcastle's let me down a few times. They've become a little bit unbackable. Obviously, the price in the outright is too low. But when you you go on the Asian with them, they don't really cover the handicap. They don't really beat teams that well, especially at home. And Wigan, many, but they don't concede many. They tend to lose 1-0, 2-1. I even considered Wigan, plus 1.5. But I think the international break after that, there's every chance that Newcastle could come out and wallop them. But I just want to see what happens before again.
Yeah, so with you on that one. What about the Newcastle 1.4 for an ACCA bet?
All over it.
What about you, Simon?
But again, me personally, because they've let me down 3 times in a row, I'm just going to wait and see what happens. And then, ask me next week for the next game. I don't know.
They're in your naughty corner.
Very much so. They're stuck there for now.
All right. Preston versus Nottingham. Preston 1.95, draw 3.6, Nottingham 4. Quite a difference here, night and day. If you compare their home and away, Preston 10 and Nottingham 20th, 2 there. Looking pretty much at that straight up Preston win there, 1.95. Just Simon, you've got a tip for this match. What do you like?
Yeah, I'm all over the home win here. I really like Preston. I keep saying it. They're really strong, really great attacking side. Recently they've beaten Brighton and Reading at home quite convincingly. Forest are really woeful away. They haven't won in 9. I know they've got a new manager, but Preston will be looking. They've got an outside chance of making the playoffs. All their home games, and I think they can do that. And certainly here, I think that price is brilliant. It's one of my favourite bets this week. Preston to win, 1.95. I'm all over that.
All right, awesome. Somebody's asking who is screaming in the background. It's a parrot. It's called Teo. And I really wanted it because I've got to like position myself to get good signal here. And if I could go in the back, there's like a menage, there's like rabbits, there's roosters, and this is Teo, who is like, and he like talks and stuff. So that's who's screaming.
Can you train him to say like bet 365 or something like that? That'd be amazing.
I was going to do like, like bet with the parrot or something and get him to see like, if he was going to like bet a match or something and offer him some different things. I'm going to have to see. This is kind of like where the signal is good. That in there is not where the signal is good. But I can see what I can do for one of the shows, and you can all meet Teo, the screaming parrot.
Please put him on your shoulder for the one tomorrow. The like pirate.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So, all right. Both going for Preston, but Simon. So Simon said this is pretty much his like bet of the week. But Martin, you are skipping this match. You're not confident there of that Preston win.
No, I'm not. No, this is not one of my bets of the week, I'm afraid. I see the rationale. Just not too sure about Nottingham Forest. They were having a dreadful time of it a few weeks ago, and we did very, very well by opposing them. But they are capable of a strange result, Nottingham Forest, as they showed when they beat Brighton 3-0. Got a decent draw in their last game against Derby in the East Midlands Derby. It's not definitely not one of my favourite ones. I know Preston do have something to play for, but I can't see them making the playoffs. I just think these are two teams that, I just think as well, Nottingham Forest are still in danger of getting relegated, so they'll be fighting for their lives. It's a pass for me.
Right, pass for you. And next we have got Rotherham versus Fulham. Fulham 1.44, draw 5, Rotherham 7.5. I'm passing on this match. Obviously, we know the Fulham for an accumulator bet must be worth a shot, 1.44. Anybody know yet how many losses Rotherham have had so far in a row? I've kind of lost count.
Yeah, the last 7 they've lost.
7. Did you lose count? I was like, give it up. Like I was gonna count. Oh God, there's too many to count.
It's been the easiest bet in the championship, hasn't it? Rotherham to lose every week.
Although I bet the only thing is I worry that you're gonna stick them in like in a killer accumulator, and then they're gonna let you down. This is gonna be like a time where they're just gonna win. This is a pass for me. But both of you guys are going for it. Simon, which one do you like?
Well, Rotherham, I think if they lose, they'll be officially relegated, which is, something that's been waiting to happen for a long time. Them play, a little bit better, I don't know. But Fulham are good away. They've got one of the best away records. They've won 3 out of 5 away. Obviously, last time they won at Newcastle. To the playoffs as well, especially if Wednesday don't get a result, Fulham could go top 6. I think they can cover the handicap, so I'm going to go Fulham -1 on the Asian at 1.66.
Yeah, that was a lean, I have to say. I've got it actually saying 1.66. Just wasn't sure if that was enough value, but yeah. What are you going for, Martin?
Yeah, I'm going for the exact same bet as Simon. I think that Fulham have the 3rd best away record in the league. They're coming up against by far and away the worst team in the league. Rotherham just look like doomed team for many weeks now. I think they'll probably roll in this one too. I really do just quite like the straight Fulham win. I know the odds aren't very good, 1.45, but I'd definitely put my mother-in-law on that. And I'd be happy to go -1 on the Asian handicap for a bit more value. I think that was a good bet.
All right, great stuff. And now the last 2 matches, all 3 of us do not have a tip. First one is Wolves versus Cardiff. Wolves 2.1, draw 3.3, Cardiff 3.5. If you just look at recent stats, I sort of got on my notes here. If you can't split it, do you go for that draw, which is often the case. But Wolves, though, are on that good run, aren't they? 3 consecutive wins, although one was to Rotherham. But Cardiff aren't doing too badly either. So if I had to go for anything, I would be looking at the draw. Simon, why did you pass on this one?
Yeah, basically Wolves have had a bit of an upturn. Very strong away. They've got a really good away record, but their problems are at Molineux at home. Like you say, that win was only against Rotherham, but they've really struggled at home. Cardiff are obviously, you know, they're just building for next year. They'll be kind of trying certain things out. You know, he'll be looking at the squad thinking, who do I want next year? And they're just very unpredictable. And with that, I just want to steer clear of it. It's not really a game that I fancy at all.
And then Reading versus Leeds, sort of a highlight fixture this weekend. Saturday first, Reading 2.6, Leeds 2.9, draw 3.2. Sort of, if you had to go for something, you've maybe leaned for sort of the home win, slightly better there, 11 wins compared to Leeds 8, but really they're both very evenly matched. I think this is a 6-pointer match here. Anything could go. Why did you skip this match, Martin?
Well, yeah, exactly. This is a really big 6-pointer at the top of the table. Both teams have got a lot to play for. There are certain games at this time of year that I avoid because neither team's got much of an interest in it, and this is completely the opposite. Both teams are desperate to get the points, and you can barely split these two. They're about as evenly matched as it gets in the Championship, so I wouldn't like to call it either way, really. I think it could be a very close game.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's going to be a very close game and could go either way in any shape or form. So, but certainly one to watch. Okay, so now we come to our best bets and our accumulator bet. I've got a few actually for my accumulator bet. We've had a few strong. But Marty, going to start with you.
Oh, okay. I'll go for Huddersfield and Fulham in my accumulator. And I think for my favourite bet, I'm going to go, because I like the odds, I like the value there, I'm going to go for Aston Villa to beat Norwich at 2.4.
Okay, interesting. We've got a few people commenting as well. I like that Villa win, so it certainly seems a strong bet for the weekend. What are you going for, Simon?
Just for the double, I'm going to go for Fulham to win and Brentford, Bristol City, both teams to score. That's just over even. And as I say, I really like the Preston win. That's my favourite this week. I'm going for that.
All right, go for the Preston win.
My favourite bet.
Okay, yeah, I like Huddersfield, Brighton, and Fulham. Stick those all in a 3. I was going to go for Newcastle, but you sort of put me off a bit there, Simon. Say no in your naughty corner and stuff. So I'm leaving. And then Brighton in the over 1.5 goals too would be my best bet, best tip there of the weekend. So there we have it. We've got one bet somebody's going to go for is CB Meshel Brighton first half money line. Is that a bet that you take there, Simon?
You know, I don't know. You know, I think Blackburn are unpredictable, and I think they might just keep it really, really tight in the first half. It's not a bet that I really like, no.
Okay, yeah, maybe that was a long-term Brighton win. What about you, Martin?
No, I avoided that game totally on the outrights, and I think trying to choose the winner in just one half makes it even more difficult. Like we said, Blackburn haven't lost 7 games, and they're proving a bit of a stubborn side at the moment. So for me, I would stay clear of that one. But
here we go.
Nice
Big no from Martin. There we have it. There we go. That's our best picks for the Championship Week 39 rundown. Thank you so much for watching. And Martin, Simon, thanks for your tips this week.
Thanks, Natalie. Cheers, everyone. Thanks.